for sure my dad would have us set in his lap, you know. And then one time, my dad always tells a story that Nikki was driving and he was like taking a nap, and then Nikki pulled over to switch, and then the cop pulled him over. Nikki almost rear-ended the cop, so this cop's up there just reaming my dad, and he couldn't say it's my. It's my kid was driving, so he just had to sit there and take it. So there was not like on the road like by ourselves, but yeah, we used to sit in his lap, because we would race and then drive 12 hours at night to another one, and he just would sit in his lap and show you how the cruise control works, and just try to do what you could. But we had this box fan, and there were so many of us. Like, we have a picture somewhere where we got bikes stacked on top of each other.
No way.
Yeah.
Like actually on top?
On top of each other on the sides, because we just didn't have enough space. Because big thing about my dad was he wanted to go to outlaw races, and that way you can run every class. You get your bang for your buck.
What was an outlaw race? Because a lot of people probably don't know what that is.
Well, it doesn't have like the AMA restrictions. So
Okay.
like, an AMA race, you can only ride an 80 for a certain age, and then 60, and the same thing that an outlaw race is run what you brung. I mean, you can be 14 and race against the pros.
Yeah.
And it's cool too, because it gives you that opportunity. And you could, like, let's say you took your 80 somewhere or your 60 and you wanted to race up a class just because you were there and you get more track time. They'd be, oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, you have to pay for the entry, but you could ride your 60 in the 80 class. If you were a kid, you could do like open amateur and then race against the pros as well.
So just let you, they kind of let you do. Now, when you were racing like that, how was it? How were you funding it all? Like back then, was it just Earl's pocket, or like, were you making money as a kid?
No, not as a kid. Not like supercross,
Yeah.
motocross. No, it was just my parents did what they could to come by. My dad started a car lot. We had a bunch of apartments, and my parents just sacrificed a lot, And then, Nikki helped out toward the, later on, and helped my parents when he was like 25 or whatever. But not a lot. But for the most part, my dad, and it's a hard part for him. I mean, he'd be gone all week working, getting time to get in the box van to drive to Texas, because that's where CMRA was, race Saturday, Sunday, drive all the way back home so we could make it to school, and then he could go check his apartments. He had horse racing, and he was just, whatever it took, dude.
So Earl was just a hustler?
Yeah, whatever it took, he did.
Wow. And
What was your family background? I know you said you had like some uncles that did farm work, but that's not what Earl was never into that.
No, he was never into that. He always had like rental property, and he was big into racehorses at one time.
like owning them?
Yeah, and that's why this place is called Sunset Downs, because horses came here and trained, and they wanted a name for it. My dad loved sunsets.
Did he actually train them, or he just was the guy kind of moving the pieces?
Kind of moving the pieces more than that.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What did he do before all that? Before
I think that's just the.
he just...
Yeah, he was just always doing something. He was really smart.
Oh,
and
wow.
he did whatever it took. I mean, there was times too, though, like, I remember when we were kids, one time our roof was leaking, like a big leak, and Daytona was coming up. And my parents were like, are we doing the roof, or are we going to Daytona? And my dad goes out and gets a 5-gallon bucket. And hope this is enough. And we went to Daytona, and my mom was like totally on board. But yeah, there was one time they had to make it, because you used to go to Daytona for a whole week.
Yeah.
For amateur flat tracks. And we had a big hole in the roof, and they had to figure out which one they were going to spend the money on.